Okay, hi everyone, welcome back. In this update, we are going to check out JasmyCoin's price chart, and unfortunately, I think the unthinkable happened in here. And in today's update, I am going to check out this specific bounce right in here and tell you what is going on. But before we get into all that, let's just go on Forex Factory. There we go. As you can see, in about, let's say, an hour and a half from the moment that this video is gonna go out, you are going to have FOMC press conference, and I think I actually saw the numbers. About 80% of the people are betting on only having a 25 basis point cut, and I think we are actually going to get that. And it's like, in my view at least, really unlikely that we're gonna get, for example, a 50 cut. I don't really think that's gonna happen. And here is the thing, you see, I believe you need to actually pay full attention to the press conference, because in there you are going to have some talks that could potentially move the market. So what should we do? Well, I think we shouldn't do anything, because odds are in the next 2-3 hours you are probably going to see some volatility show up in the short term, and that might actually hit your stop loss in case that you are opening some trades. So for like very short term, meaning the next couple of hours, let's say even the next 24 hours, just to be safe, we should not be trading at all. And also, preferably, we shouldn't even have open positions. Let's just close them all and watch the market and see what is it going to do. Now, here's a question. Based on what we are seeing at the moment, can we argue what the market might do? I think so. Yep. You see, if you remember, the last time that we talked about Jasmy, we were, right around this area, and the idea was that if we really insist on being bullish, then okay, we have to, from these areas, get a move on the upside. And we specifically said what we do not want to see in here is a continuation of this move down in order to take these lows right in here. And as you can see, let's just do this. Okay, we definitely took all the lows, which is absolutely not an optimistic sign. Now, before I tell you what is happening in here, let's just zoom in more and go on some lower time frames and count some waves. So I think we can all agree that this is quite a strong move down. Excuse me, where's it? There we go. This is a strong move down. And if you go on, for example, like 1 minute time frame, I'm betting on the fact that this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave impulsive structure. Also, this seems a lot like an A, B, C up, and before it, I think we are having an A, B, C down. So guess what? I'm thinking that this is probably an A, B, C in form of a running flat, since into our C leg we didn't take the low of our wave A. And what is going on in this initial bounce? Let's go on 1 minute time frame. And by the way, in my own time, I honestly do not go on such lower time frames, but I just want to make a quick point, and I'm doing this for the sake of educational purposes. So overall, I'm thinking it's fine. There we go. So what is going on? I think this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Also, this is most likely another 1, 2, maybe wave 3 to about this point. I'm gonna say probably to about here, actually. Correction for another move up into wave 5, and this initial bounce back starting from here to about this point is also a 5 wave. So what do you have on a higher degree? Probably a 1 flat into wave 2, a strong impulse on the upside into wave 3, correction for 4, another move up into wave 5. After it, like we talked about it earlier, an A, B, C running flat, and then this is most likely another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave to about the highs. Now, here's a very important point. I think in JasmyCoin we are having an ABC zigzag off of the lowest low, which the subways for it are going to be like this: 5 wave up into a ABC, or maybe a WXY, generally some sort of a correction into wave B, and then a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave on the upside into our C leg. And well, now you can see what I mean. I think we are absolutely having the subways for a zigzag, meaning what? Well, unfortunately, our move down in Jasmy is not over yet, and maybe we're gonna get soon a move on the downside in order to take the lowest low down here once more, about 1.38 cents, and maybe even we're gonna go quite a bit lower than that. Now, here's a very important point. At what point can we say, you know what, probably this scenario is confirmed? I think if we get a move down in here and in it, we take this important low about 1.4 cents. That's actually going to be confirmed. At that point, we can confidently say, look, this is an ABC. And well, we shouldn't really expect a whole lot of a strong upward price action. Now, having said that, there's actually a chance that in about an hour and a half, you are going to see a move on the upside. And before it, if we actually end up taking this low and for example doing something like this, a 1 2 3 4 5, at that point I'm gonna need you to count on the possibility of having an A B C flatter structure, meaning what, even at that point you shouldn't be overwhelmingly optimistic. And then from these areas you should count on a move down. And let me be very clear, please do not trade this move, okay? This is absolutely not tradable. If you do it, you are probably going to end up losing quite a good bit of money, since again we are going to have some volatility ahead. Now, why am I insisting on this whole move off of the lowest low in Jasmy be a correction structure and not an impulse? Two very important reasons. Reason number one comes down to the move itself. I think we can all agree that at the moment we are having kind of a slow move up. Let's just actually measure it timing wise. This move currently is taking us about 550 candles on 5-minute time frame. On the other hand, let's just zoom out and do this. There we go. As you can see, in only about 600 candles, we managed to have this strong move on the downside. So I think it is very much safe to argue in this phase, bulls are absolutely failing to push the price higher and higher, meaning what? Bears are still quite strong. Reason number two for why am I right now not necessarily optimistic in Jasmy comes down to the fact that again, in this move down, we actually took these two important lows. And why are they so important? Because if you want to argue that maybe we have hit our final low around here, maybe this is like a very important support, then okay, you need to show me off of the lowest low in this region, a 5 wave on the upside. However, let's go on 30-minute time frame. As you can see, given the fact that now we have taken the lows, answer me this: how exactly are you able to find from here to about this high a 5 wave? I think finding it is like extremely challenging, to a degree that it really shouldn't be our primary case. Instead, I'm actually comfortable arguing that from this high, this is an ABC running flat. This can be fair enough a 5 wave on the upside, and this initial bounce is also another 5 wave. So what do you have? Basically probably the subways for an ABC zigzag, meaning what? Our move down in Jasmy at the moment seems to be not over. And also I actually have another reason to be a bit pessimistic in the short term. Let's go on 15-minute time frame and see what is happening from this high to about the lows. First things first, I think we can clearly see that between our pullbacks up, we really do not have a whole lot of overlapping of the waves. And that is a characteristic of what? Well, if you are a regular viewer, you probably know the answer. That's actually a characteristic of an impulsive structure. And I'm thinking probably we are having from this high 5 wave down into a wave 1, correction for wave 2, another move down into wave 3, correction for 4, another move on the downside into wave 5 to about actually this point, and this white 5 wave down on a higher degree, it's gonna be into a wave 3, correction for 4, another move down into wave 5. So based on the reasons that we talked about earlier, we also can say this is a correction up. And what do you have overall? 5 down, correction up. This might be a bit of a bearish setup, suggesting in JasmyCoin we are going to probably soon continue our move down in order to, I'm gonna say, unfortunately, take the lowest low down here about 1.36 cents. But that's the problem. We are probably not going to stop there. We're gonna go maybe like quite a bit lower than that. And let's say for now, we should have like another 10% move on the downside. And don't get me wrong, I can tell you maybe we're gonna have like a 40% move on the downside, but number one, I really do not want to destroy your hopes. And number two, I do think probably after a 10 to 15% move on the downside, our correction most likely is going to come to an end. Why? Because we do have in here this very, very important support between 1.1.5 to about 1.2.5 cents. So by the first time that we reach to about this area, I think we are going to get some sort of a reaction from it. And I'm really hoping that our reaction is going to be, you guessed it right, in form of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And especially in this phase, if we take this important high, it will be like an extremely, extremely bullish sign, suggesting, you know what, in JasmyCoin, we have hit our final low. But for now, let's not talk about those scenarios. Let's focus on the current move. And in case, again, let me just repeat that, we see a move up in the next couple of hours, I think that might be a trap. So please, please be careful. And after this is over, maybe you should expect yet another move on the downside. And I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in JasmyCoin. Anyway, if you found any value in my content, I would really appreciate if you like this video and consider subscribing to my channel and follow me on Twitter. And if you want more, maybe you want a complete analysis for your own specific crypto, or maybe you want to learn some decent TA in order to be able to make good money in the markets, you can become a member and ask me anything you want. And until the next update, I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.